Where's the nice filter? Like the Instagram filters for my house.
Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Mitch and Alex show. He's Mitch, I'm Alex, and our special guest today is none other than the first lady of All-Star Wrestling, Jasmin Brettle.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No
Thanks.
problem.
I'm a big fan of the podcast. Listen to all the episodes. So
Wow, a lot of the All-Star roster.
Yeah, Jasmin, she's been in one of our longest though, like every
That's
episode,
true.
I believe.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
That's true.
she's always commenting in the chat as well. Would like to start it off just quickly before you have to remind me to mention our sponsors.
Yes.
We are sponsored by Bulldog Glass and Property Maintenance, Amy's Crystal Cleaning Services, and Raptastic Graphics.
Also in studio, we've got the puppet over here as well.
The puppet is behind the camera, as is Big Keegsy B, Keegan Brettle.
Playing on his phone. He's not going to be joining the pod today.
No.
We have our first person saying hello.
It's Shay. Shay the cameraman. How are you, Shay?
Hi, Shay.
All right, Box, what's on the agenda for today?
We did want to start the show off, I guess, on a more somber note. This last week, we lost a true fan of Australian wrestling in Kyle Eade. I guess we just wanted to wish his family all the best, and that I guess Australian wrestling isn't going to be the same without him.
No,
It was-
I definitely agree completely.
It was such a shock, you know, like I woke up Monday morning and I had like 5 or 6 messages saying that Kyle's gone. And like, what a shock. And it, 23 years old, way too young as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like Keegan called me that morning, and I kind of thought it was a bit of a joke. I was like, "Oh, what's this?" And to be honest, I got really upset. Like I got really, really upset because he was too young. He was too young, and it broke my heart when I found out. So it was really, really, really sad to hear about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone at All Star would like to give Kyle's family, our best wishes and our condolences. And there's a GoFundMe as well, and it's been really great to see. Like, I think I checked it and it was like $6,000 given, and they're looking for 10. So if you can go and support that. And it was really good to see all of Australian wrestling come together as well.
Yeah.
And like I was scrolling on Monday and Tuesday when most of the people were making their posts, and just so many nice stories, and it was really positive. And the news has reached, like, I saw it on the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
yeah.
Jeez, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were calling him an iconic Australian wrestling figure, and I guess in a way he was. Like every single promotion in almost the country, he travelled to Melbourne and Queensland. He travelled all over the country to go watch wrestling, and I thought his passion and dedication to Australian wrestling, it's part of what makes it worth it.
100%, and I think as well, like I think every wrestler has their own personal Carly story. Like
Yeah.
I know for a fact, like I used to love getting these messages where he'd be like, "Keep killing it as always."
Yeah,
like, it was just
the
always so
iconic-
like,
The iconic Kyle.
yeah, like he just every time I would see him, he'd say, "You and Keegs are killing it. Like you're doing awesome," and blah blah blah. And I feel like he was always very positive when it came to every wrestler, whether you're good or bad, even if it was a crappy promotion. Like he was just positive towards all wrestling. So
Yeah, he loved every wrestling promotion, every wrestler. It didn't matter if they were, Robbie Eagles or someone having their first match. He loved everyone.
yeah, definitely.
I saw a couple guys. I think it was Joey Ferrugia posted that Kyle was his first fan picture, and I thought that was really cool.
I wonder how many people would have had their first fan photo with Kyle, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there'd be a lot.
Like, if you've been a wrestler that started out in the last 2 or 3 years, your first fan photo probably was with Kyle.
Yeah.
No, definitely. He definitely left a mark, on all of us because, I can't even say anymore. Like he was an awesome fan.
I remember
as well.
I'd be lining up for All-Star shows outside before doors were open, and he'd always come up to me and be like, "Oh, who do you think's gonna win the main event tonight?" And Wes Williams, that scumbag.
Yeah, he did not like Wes Williams,
No. But then when he did turn good, he absolutely loved him.
He was happy, I think.
I remember the show that Wes made the save for Keegan and Hell Yeah. He came up to me and goes, "Oh, Alex, can you take a photo of me and Wes?" And he posted it to his Instagram. And he was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you turned to the good side." It was it was really, he loved to cheer the good guys and he loved to boo the bad guys. It was.
That's what Aussie wrestling kind of needs as well.
Yeah.
Someone passionate like that. I never really got the chance to speak to Kyle too much, but the 2 times that I had a conversation with him, that's exactly what you guys said. Super positive and just loving the wrestling, which I think everyone gets tied up in all sorts of stuff, and he was someone that he just wanted the best for Aussie wrestling. So yeah, if anyone out there can support the GoFundMe,
I'll chuck the link up in the description once this once the
Yeah,
episode
definitely
finishes.
do.
yeah, because
I'll share it
there's
around.
still a few $1,000s short.
Yeah.
But I think they will reach that goal, and hopefully they go past it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like Kyle was like, he was the fan that a lot of like promotions need. Like he was always making noise and like trying to bring the energy to shows. And I think like you touched on it earlier. He was like, that's what a lot of promotions need. They need that fan who brings the energy to all the shows.
Well, you think if you're a promotion that maybe doesn't draw, amazingly, someone like a Kyle can bring the crowd to life.
Yeah.
So that's another positive as well. And I know a lot of promotions were paying him his due over the weekend as well, which was really great to see.
Yeah, I saw IWA
Yeah.
did a tribute to him in Salem at their show last night.
I thought that was really nice.
Yeah.
Because I think always the fans are just as important as the wrestlers, especially passionate ones. So.
Well, the fans are the most important part of the show, ideally.
Well, yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
you think about it, right? Like wrestling isn't the same without the fans. Like
No.
empty arena matches, that'd suck.
Oh my god.
Most certainly.
Yeah.
So we pay tribute to Kyle today, and it's an awful thing that's happened. But we're gonna power through it. We got
Yeah.
Jasmin here.
We do. Upcoming
Thanks,
matches next Saturday at Newcastle.
Yes.
You and Big Keegsy B are taking on Billy Mack and
Yeah.
Jesse Daniel.
It's an intergender
that's
grudge
right.
match.
That's right. I mean, I feel like they think that they're going to one up us, but I feel like they obviously have no idea the history of Keegan and I's tag.
Yeah.
It's not like we just started tagging overnight or whatever it is. Like we've been tagging for a long time. Like I think Keegan and I read each other extremely well in the ring. So good luck to them to try and even outdo us at all because it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. They've been together 5 seconds. We've been together for like nearly 8 years. So
Damn.
good luck. That's all I got to say.
Jasmin throwing bombs at the opposition.
That's what
I
we
was
do.
if any of our viewers were down at our Bateman's Bay show, Jasmin and Keegan faced J Law and Judy Law in
That's
an
right.
impromptu tag match, and they did get the win. It's a very experienced tag team, the Brettle.
That's right, exactly. So good luck to them. All I'm going to say because, like, the only reason she even got anything over me was because I didn't have Keegan there. And now that I've got Keegan there, like, good luck to her. Is all I'm going to say because, yeah, no one. Can
Billy
doubt
Mack
me.
she's been working the rules for quite a while. Saxon Hughes, Jesse Daniels. So now the odds are evened up.
Exactly. So
And-
I'm not even worried. I'm actually really excited for it. Really excited because I know that Keegan and I easily have this in the back. Like, no questions asked.
And August 19th as well, there's the
Yes.
All-Star Wrestling Women's Championship match.
Oh,
Billy
yes.
Mack and Jasmin.
That one's going to be so good knowing that I have Keegan in my corner because, again, like, good luck to them to even try and outdo us. Like, honestly, like, I feel absolutely confident knowing that I've got Keegan there because he will not let her try and be dodgy or play any tricks or anything like that. Like, I'm really, really keen for both of these matches. Like, I feel so good knowing that I've got my husband there in my corner. Like, it can't go wrong.
Big
Can't go wrong.
Keegsy
So I'm
B,
excited.
comment?
Oh, she said it all.
Just a little bit of proof that Keegan
Nice.
is indeed in the room.
Thanks, Keegan.
The Aussie Observer asked, can you tell us about the start of your wrestling career?
Oh, okay. So I started wrestling training in 2015 because I actually used to go to AWE shows before I met Keegan, before I really knew anybody, because it was in my area. I was from Ryde. And then I actually had, funny story, my first friend in wrestling was Vinny Vane. So he was my friend, and then I kind of had spoken to him, and I was like, I really want to start wrestling. Like, can you help me out? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to introduce you to my friend, blah, blah, blah. Take me up, and he's like, this is Sammy. Sammy will help you out. He can get your foot through the door. And they were awesome to me. They were very nice to me. So Sammy had actually got me in contact with Vulcan, and so I started training at Vulcan's. So in 2015, I started training at Vulcan's, probably about, I'm going to say June or like April-ish, April, May, around that time. So then I actually started going to more shows because I wasn't really too familiar with the local wrestling scene. Like I didn't go to any PWA, I didn't go to any other shows. Like I didn't really know because I was so big into WWE that it was like once I heard about indie wrestling, I was like, what's this kind of thing. Not like bagging it out. It's just
You were just a casual fan.
yeah. But I was like a massive WWE fan. Like I was like loving wrestling.
So much so that you had a life size.
Yes. Yes. I last time got a Randy Orton. I had tons of photos of Randy Orton in my room.
And the only
But-
reason you found Aussie wrestling was because you saw a poster of Chavo Guerrero, right?
That's correct. That was the first show I ever went to, and then I actually had so much fun at the show that I started to go to more shows because it was really fun. So started training in Vulcans, started going to more local shows, and then I actually had a friend from Tasmania who was like, "Oh, I have some friends that are wrestling for this company called IWA. They're doing a show in your area. We should go." I was like, "Sweet, okay, I'll come with you. That'll be awesome, you know." And then we get to this show, and then this guy over here is wrestling on the card, you know. And then
is that the smiley face era of Big Keezy?
yes, it was. It was a smiley face era of Cutie Pie Keegan Brettle.
He's got a
He's not loving it.
I'm staying out.
No, well, look, I started going to more shows, and then I met Keegan, and then Keegan actually. I started meeting all the guys from APWG because they were friends with Keegan. Eventually, I had left Vulcans and I went to APWG because I realized that there's a lot, you know. Vulcans was like it wasn't doing much for me. There was no girls there, and I wasn't really enjoying it too much. But whereas when I went to APWG, there were so many girls, and Lee was just automatically amazing trainer. And then from there, it was just like I stuck with APWG the whole time. So, you know, I've made my wrestling debut in 2016 at ICW in Canberra. Won the women's belt my first match, you know.
Wow.
Just casual, yeah.
Just casually, you know.
How was it being a champion in the first night? Like that would be
What way to start?
that'd be no, but I feel like it'd be weird in a way too. Like
it didn't feel as accomplished. Like I remember when I was learning to train and wanting to do all that kind of stuff, but I didn't feel as wanted as what I thought. To be honest, like I've held maybe 3 belts in Australia, and I don't think I felt honored holding either, which is kind of sad because I kind of felt like it was just kind of put on me, and it didn't feel like
didn't feel earned.
No, so it wasn't that great. It was, I knew they kind of just put it on me because actually so I don't know if you guys have heard of her, Sophia Morales. So she was wrestling in New South Wales. She moved to Queensland. She dropped the belt, and she actually had said, "Oh, put the belt on Jasmin." That's literally what happened. So like Jasmin should win the belt. So
And they did it.
So
Wow.
my first match. So but it was a lot of fun. Like especially from where I started to where I am now. Like I've had some really fun matches, and I've had some really fun random situations I've been put in. And I mean, I couldn't even begin with the stories.
How was training over in Canada with Lance Storm?
It was awesome. It was very, very fun. Very, very. I got very lucky because I think a lot of the guys were very intimidated to train with me. Like they didn't realize that Lee as a trainer is someone who treats the girls like the guys. So we could take like everyone. When I'm at APWG, every guy would treat me like they would with everyone else, and it was with like that with all the girls. But in Canada, it was like everyone was too scared to work with me. But it was kind of a benefit on my part because I was the one who worked with Lance every single time. You know, I was the one who would do a drill with him because no guys wanted to pair. It was either Keegan or it was one other guy. So half the time it was me doing things with Lance. So it kind of was like, you know, it was really, really good. Like it was very, very awesome learning from him. I think it definitely, as soon as I came back from overseas, it definitely felt like a very different person because I think I needed to kind of go to all the basic stuff again. But I will say, after being trained by him in Canada, I'm very, very, very positive in the way I think with J Law being the best trainer ever. Like he, was just the best, and he and I, both agreed that we were so lucky to be trained by J Law when APWG was still around because he was just the best by far. So
Puppeteer agreeing in the background.
Yep.
But yeah.
100% true.
I don't think there's anyone that will ever say Lee is not the best trainer ever. Like he by far just is the best. Like
Yeah, you do hear that a lot from people who have trained under him. Like everyone says that he's the best, and it's nice.
100%. Like he cares. He cares so much. Like he's the type of person. And like I was actually having this conversation with Jayla J, where we both agreed that like the one thing we loved about Lee as a trainer is he didn't try and make everyone do the same kind of stuff like you usually would see in a lot of training like these days. It was more like he would kind of see one little strength and he'd want to work with it and give you something more with it. Like he would teach, like Jason Jailer had a bump, like, for his height, for his height and his size and everything. Or he would say, for example, with me, like he's the reason I do the back heel, but because I did it once and he was like, you hit that good, you need to be a striker, like you need to be doing stuff like that. And he was the one showing me how to hit it more like, more lethal. So he's just the type where he kind of would look at you and kind of see what you're really good at, and even things you weren't that great with, and he would want to help you improve that, or work on your strengths so that it make you a unique wrestler. So it wasn't like you didn't come to training and have every single person, no matter what size, doing flips and rolls or whatever it is. It was just like he really made every single person unique that went there, and it was awesome. So
Watching the puppet zone out. Look at him. Papa, what are you doing?
this is what he's like all the time. So I just wonder what you guys are looking at.
What are you thinking about, Puppet?
I was thinking, imagine if I had to wear these knots on me for the rest of my life. It's the most boring thing you could think of.
All right, so the people who saw our second or third episode and were wondering if the puppet is still cooked, the answer is yes.
Not as cooked as bird, man.
Oh, and then he made that appearance for the Super Show as well. And
Oh, he stole the show there. Yeah.
Don't ever change, please.
Alex
Don't ever
Fox's
change.
debut by default.
We found out today that he used to water a cactus.
Yes. Oh my God.
Tell that story, Jazz. It was funny.
He used to come to training and he'd be like, oh, I think one time he said, oh, I forgot to water my cactus in the car. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, oh, I've got a cactus in my car. He literally goes to his car and in his cup holder, he had a cactus. I thought he was joking. It was so funny because what was your cactus's name again?
Someone named him Jack or something. Jack.
Jack the Cactus. Cactus
I
Jack.
can't remember, but I remember he had a name and everything. It was so funny. Like, oh.
Kiggs has just left the building.
Yeah, because he must know that I'm so great, and he knows he can't outdo me. On
That's
the
right.
podcast.
Yeah,
That's
no,
right.
he's going to jump on his phone and watch it and comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to add to the ratings.
David Bullock says you'll have earned that All-Star Women's title when you get it on the team.
David, you are the best person in the world. Thank you so much.
Hey.
I mean, you guys are too.
Yeah.
But David's also awesome. He's always such a big support, and like I love getting all his like motivating messages. Like they get me going.
Aussie Observer says, what happened to APWG?
Oh, so sad. So sad. Look, to be honest, what really happened was we had this awesome training facility. It was actually the back of a protein shop. Like literally, you walk through a friggin' protein store, and then the doors would open, and then there was a wrestling ring set up, and it was like our own. It was so cool. It was the best place ever. And fortunately, the guy that owned it was friends with Lee. And I think what happened was it was all bought out, something like that. I can't remember exactly what happened, but we actually had to find somewhere else. And so we ended up finding a temporary solution at this gym. But the problem was we couldn't have a ring set up because it was a gym. And I think from there it was like the guys wanted to be more in a ring, and so the majority of the guys actually went to PWA, and then there was a lot of us still around, still training and everything. But then it was like I think Lee ended up moving to Wollongong and everything like that, and it just kind of
Fell apart.
Yeah, it was very sad because at one point, I mean, APWG was like outdoing PWA. Like we were not no dig at anyone. It was like PWA's main guys are pretty much all APWG guys, So like we had, and like I said, the majority of those PWA guys were all trained by Lee. So, and it wasn't like a competition. It was just it was awesome. It was like we had an awesome trainer, and the environment was awesome, and the people that was there was awesome. Like I couldn't fault it in any way at all. It was a really good time.
Let's see. Too Sweet Matty Chew says always cooked, and Shay says, mate, he's deep fried. Yeah.
He's still sitting there in the same pose as well.
Yeah. He's
like a deep fried donut with some sugar on it.
Yeah.
There's always like in a group of people, there's always the beloved one that's a bit strange, and in this landscape, it's the puppeteer.
It is.
Beloved.
100%. I was saying the puppeteer is the reason I love training. Like his comments for the day just make my whole life. Like they're so good.
Yeah, look, he does say some funny shit. It's
Plus his hair is green currently, and he hasn't wrestled in like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
What about his one sock that matches his hair? That's like the highlight.
Yeah, and then his other sock.
He always wears odd socks. It's
Yeah.
I want to live a day in the life of the puppet.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting with all these animals at home
Tinker.
too.
Oh, you're
shout
so
shout out to Tinker, the puppeteer's cat.
Yes.
funny. Oh, hey Tinker.
We're giving shout outs
Wish
to
you were
cats.
here.
So I chucked up an NGL on the Instagram story, and we got one question. So shout out
Come on, guys.
shout out to everyone who put in a question.
Thanks, guys.
One question for Jasmine.
What's the bet? It was Joel Southgate. Too.
Oh. I am disappointed in everybody. I think everyone knows that I'll just be honest, so they didn't want to
Yeah.
start something. You
Yeah,
know?
maybe.
It's alright, guys. I'll forgive you.
So the question was, where do you think Australian wrestling can improve with women's wrestling?
Oh, this one I've actually thought of.
He's cracking out the room.
So-
for Pepsi.
And this is me not trying to have the conversation, talk about how great All Star is. It's one thing. It kind of undermines a lot more being an All Star, because I hate the fact that in wrestling right now, women's matches are just like a random spot on the match with no story behind it, and they're just randomly chucked together, and it's like a random match, and it's boring. Like, it's for so long I did it thinking it was so normal, but like women's matches don't have stories. Like, majority of shows these days, why do the men get all these storylines but women don't? They just have this random put together match. You know, like at the moment, like I'm not naming any promotions in particular. Like, you could have, you know, like bring out all the girls you want or whatever it is, but what's the story behind it? It's kind of boring, you know. Whereas I love the fact that at also at the moment, you know, every match, every time, even if it's a random match that we've had on the show, we've had a story with it, and we've had story art forms, and or you know, it makes it more exciting. It makes people want to come back and see what's going to happen. It makes people want to, but it also makes the girls put more their heart into it, because we love being able to tell a really good story, and it lacks in Australian wrestling. Like, why do guys get to be in the main event and have these great stories and have a whole build-up thing where women are just, oh, let's just put her against this person for a random reason, have this person go over? Like, what's the story behind that? So I think that's something where like a lot of promotions are lacking. I mean, there are a lot of promotions that are doing it. Like, I know that obviously PWA do it, but let's be real, like, you know, and again, not bagging anyone else. Don't take this the wrong way, guys. Like, you've got FWA where, oh wow, we've got this girl against this girl. What's the story behind it? Like, oh, you're just randomly putting together a match. Like, you know, you've got Michelle Grove, who's a great women's champ. Give her a good story. Why does she just have to wrestle these random people for no reason each time? Or you've got AWF, where you've got these random women matches. What's the story? Like, what's the story? No, I'm just going to have these two random girls wrestle each other for no reason and whatever. Why do the guys get to have these really cool storylines and the girls don't? Like, so I think we need more of that. Like, the girl wrestlers in Australia are awesome. Like, and I think we're so good at telling stories. But also, one thing that I'm really proud of when being an All-Star is we tell a great story with the girls. People are so into it. Like, they want to see more. Like, Lily Mack is a piece of crap right now, but I know for a fact everyone is so keen, especially now seeing our tag match. Everyone's waiting for it because of how much she's put me through. So, you know, like, that's where we need more of that. We need more of that. So
I think most promotions don't really do stories in general now, though. Like,
but there are, though, with the guys. Like, it's always, you know, like, I can name you every promotion where there's a story, even if it's like a random promotion or whatever.
yeah,
But it's always based around the guys. Like, there's nothing really with the girls. It's always just a random girls match because they need a women's wrestler, they need something, or in the time that the girls are involved with the story, it's usually their ballet with the guy or something like that. So, and this is not just aiming at one promotion. This is actually every promotion that I'm thinking of, like, apart from, like, honestly us, like PWA. Again, there might be promotions out there where girls are getting that stuff, but from what I'm seeing about here in New South Wales, it's just random matches, and I hate that. It's not fair. Like, it's kind of boring.
I just think a lot of shows in general have like no stories. Like, if you ask me to name the last hot storyline in New South Wales wrestling, I think I'd struggle.
Yeah.
Like, if you
Apart from All-Star.
said no All-Star, no PWA, no, you know, the bigger promotions, I guess, if you want to call it that. Like, I'd struggle to think of big cracking storyline. I think that's just the lack of creativity across the board.
Yeah.
But I do agree that the women kind of are treated like a special attraction,
Yeah.
which isn't fair. They should be integrated.
100%.
I've heard people say that, you know, like 15 years ago, a women's match was used to go to the toilet and get a drink. And
Yeah.
like, I think it's come such a long way since then, but there's still so much room to grow.
Yeah, definitely. But like I said, you know, we have a lot of great women wrestlers here in Australia, and I think as well, if we're given the time to actually put together a good story, like honestly, it makes people want to come back. Like I said, I've had people messaging me already so keen for this tag match, you know, we've got next week, because they're waiting for Billy Mack to finally get like her, like, you know, they're finally waiting for me to just get one up on her. Like they're waiting for it, and it's because we've, you know, because like literally we have this whole great story, you know, leading up to that. Like women need more of that. We don't just need to have a random match for the sake of having a women's match on the show. Like we need more, and I think we're very capable of doing more as well. So
I guess it's kind of a case of if you can't give the women equal footing within the promotion in terms of stories and stuff, then it might not even be a case. It might not even be a need for the woman on the show. You know,
yeah,
like if you're just gonna have it for the sake of having it, then you might be better off just not having it.
Yeah,
100%.
I think the old mindset of, you know, women are just valets needs to.
Oh, that's a viewpoint from 25, 30 years ago.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
But like you still see promotions where there might be a women's match on there, but like the women are just valets for the guys on, you know, in the main event or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, the comments have been popping off.
I got to mention, when I was young and starting in the wrestling business, there was one night at the Dapto showground, which is where I was from, and the women stole the show that night. It was a match between Billy Kay and Madison Eagles.
Wow.
Oh, of course they was.
Yeah,
like,
they
what's the
went-
match?
Wow.
They went maybe 15 minutes, and the people went mental for it. Billy Kay sold out of all her merchandise.
Oh my God.
So they were both total stars and stole the show. So I've been on board with the women's wrestling for a long time. It's been great how it's come so far over the past decade. Would you say 10
Yeah.
years?
No, well, even before, like when I first started, it was like I said, I didn't really think too much of it because it was like women were lucky to even have a spot on the card. Like there was always that one women's spot on a show, and it was like I remember, you know, there wasn't many women wrestlers around, but it was like, and now looking back, it was kind of like, you know, give us a story, give us a bit more, like. So yeah, no, I'm very lucky right now because like I said, I love the fact that I feel like equal compared to everyone else. I don't feel like I'm just like a filler match or I'm just like a random match before, you know, for the guys to go get drinks or whatever it is. Like, you know.
Cameron Keep says the sweet sound of a room temp pep being cracked. Shout out to Cameron Keep, the Johnny Star superfan. Shay says there's a bit of an audio buzz.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Buzz.
B-boy?
Anyway, yeah.
B-boy, comment. Let's see. David Bullock says All-Star have definitely had a great story arc for the ladies since the title came to be. I agree. I think even before that, because the title was kind of integrated after you and Shazza started your rivalry.
Yep.
And like it's kind of just been one long story since then. It's been all about you getting screwed on the title.
Yeah.
And I think August 19th might be the night. Who knows?
Very well
I
might
feel
be.
like I'm at a point now where it's like I said, I know I've got Keegan there, so I'm not feeling so worried. But I'm at a point now where I'm like, I'm ready to just go and grab a chair and just like whack her with it if I have. I'll go distract, like honestly, take the ref out because I'm like, I'm not letting her.
Ooh.
I mean, I won't do it. I'm
Watch
not a
out,
bad guy.
Slug. Slug
I'm not a
just
bad
coming
guy.
for you.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
You're gonna take the ref out?
Especially our awesome ref, Nigel.
Or Johnny
Big fan,
Patini.
Oh, Johnny Patini. Big fan of you guys. But no, I won't take anyone out. I'm just joking. But no, I'm at a point where it's like, I'm not letting her try and outdo me this time. Like, I thought the last time I was so like, I was going to win. I was feeling it in that moment. And
It certainly looked like it, yeah.
And I didn't expect to unfortunately have another man coming in. Like a bit of a tramp, but whatevs, you know?
Oh,
So, but
Shots fired.
it's all right though. 'Cause
damn.
it's okay though because, like I said, guys, I've got Keegan, and Keegan knows me. I know him. I know I'm not worried whatsoever because I know there's no way he's letting anybody get one up on me. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good.
I can see the paparazzi-esque headline from the All-Star social media team. Jasmin Brettle calls Billy Mack a tramp. Breaking news. It'll be on the Instagram stories.
Maybe today's 5 p.m. update.
Possibly, like, wow.
I'm sorry. Look, she had to get one guy. I took him out with Azalea, and now suddenly she's got another guy. What? We'll take out Jesse Daniels. She's gonna get another guy.
Damn.
Maybe that's her plan. She always comes in with a plan.
Bloody Queenslander.
Nice. The Queenslanders, you know.
Mr. Hardy Productions asked, how did you and BKB get together?
Oh, now, before you tell this story, I got to mention, there was some controversy. I don't remember who, but someone didn't believe the story that Keegan told. But
Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
I backed it up and I said, it's the story you guys told at your wedding.
I know. David Bullock commented on our Instagram post and said he wanted to make sure that the story.
Oh, maybe it was David Bullock.
No,
Yeah.
Keegan wasn't lying, but I will tell the whole complete story.
Here we go.
Oh.
All
I
right.
like the whole
The
complete
dirt.
story. 'Cause-
Here we go.
So yes, we did meet at the show. So yeah, it was IWA. They had a show in North Ryde. I went with my friend, and she was friends with Keegan, and she knew some of the other wrestlers and stuff. And basically, when we rocked up, there's so many funny things that happened on the night that I look back on and I think, oh, that's really funny how that happened. You know, like we were in the food court, and then I think the door opened, and it was like Keegan, and he was looking at me, and I'm like, who's this guy? You know, what the hell? And he was like pointing at her, like my friend, because I think he wanted her to get him a drink or something. And I was like, oh, my friend pointing at you, you know. Like I didn't think that. I thought nothing of it. But so we went to the show, and we're watching the show, and to be honest, like Keegan's match stood out to me only because I remember at the time the finish was he went for a frog splash, and then Tyson Gibbs reversed into an RKO. Obviously, I'm a Randy Orton fan, so I'm like, oh, that was pretty cool, you know.
Yeah.
I was very impressed by that, but it wasn't like it was also because I think their match was actually very good. Like Tyson Gibbs was great, and with Keegan, like they had a really good match. And so after the show, I think her and I got like a drink, and I was like, oh man, I'm driving and I'm in ride with any cops around. I was only on my green peas, so I didn't want to like have any sip of anything. So I actually asked him, I'm like, oh, you want my drink? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. Not realizing that he's such a germaphobe, and now he would not share a drink with me.
He is a bit of a germaphobe, yeah.
So, and then he tried to like compliment my eyelashes, and I was like, this guy is cute. This is so like, I just remember thinking, oh, this guy is such a player. Like, you know, because at the time I was like, I actually was like, you know, I had my group of friends, and there were guys in the group who were actually massive players. And so for me, it was like, full like trying to even like I thought automatically player, whatever. And so that night he actually messaged my. So this is the part he didn't mention.
Was it as soon as he complimented the eyelashes that you were like, this guy's a player?
Yeah.
Any man that compliments your eyelashes.
So he actually messaged
Mitch, you
my.
have lovely eyelashes.
I appreciate it.
So it's funny
Player.
actually how it all came to be because he messaged my friend that night and he said, I think your friend's really cute. Can you set me up? Blah, blah, blah. And she was like, you don't want to talk to him. He's a player. Blah, blah, blah. And I trust her. Like, you know, she met well. But I also, I'm the most stubborn person in the world. And I think that's something no one really knows about me. So you tell me not to talk to someone. I'm like, I'm not stupid. Like, good luck in trying and play me. I'm a good girl. Like, I know what I'm like. So I actually went and added him on Facebook because I was like, stuff it. Let him try and play me. I'm not stupid. And he messaged me actually saying, like, oh, you know, just I thought you were really cute. And I'm like, why you want to hang out with me because I'm cute? Like, come on. And I think I kind of shut him down. But I was trying to like just be a smartass, to be honest.
Playing hard to get.
Yeah, like I was just being a smartass. Anyway, we didn't talk. Like, I think we had a conversation here and there. It was more because I knew he was a wrestler and like, so I would talk to him just about like, oh, yeah, like I think he started talking to me about things like, but it was like a month and a bit before the next show that I saw him at. And like, it wasn't, during this time, we both did not think anything. It was like, I think he kind of thought whatever, like, it's not going to happen. And I kind of wasn't thinking about any of that stuff. And so I took my brother and my cousin to a CWA show. And at the time I didn't know they weren't the great shows, but
Was it to see Keegan?
no.
I think he said on his episode that it might have been to see.
No, actually it wasn't. He was the only person I knew on the card, so I actually messaged him about it because I said, oh, hey, like, I saw that there's this show. It's actually happening because it was in Canley Vale. It's not too far from me. And at the time, like, I was really close with my little brother and my young cousin, and I was like, we were liking going to wrestling shows together, so I wanted to bring them along because I'd gone to a few AWE shows after this point, and so brought them along. And so this is the part that Keegan never spoke about, which I thought it's my favorite part of the whole story. So
Oh, here we go.
Keegan, so okay, I went with him. He wrestled and everything. I think he was on a tag match that night. And then he came out and he was near the bar, and I was like, "Oh, Keegan, hey." And she went, "Oh, hey, like I didn't know you were going to be here." Like,
Oh,
find
smooth.
out later on that apparently he was
Wow.
peering through the curtain. Like I didn't know this until he told me later. And then apparently when he went backstage afterwards, he was still peering through the curtain and stuff, like, you know, telling everyone about the girl in the white jeans, because I had these white jeans on. And then, this is all the stuff I found out later. And then, yeah, we both, there's a story he did say about like, oh, I think you're cute, blah, blah, blah. It did happen. Like, it was, because at the time I was like, I just thought he was really nice. And like, I don't know, like when I was talking to him, it was kind of like, I really did not see any player signs at all. Like, I really didn't. Like,
But he complimented the eyelashes.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. That's what it was. But then it was like, when we were talking, I was like, oh, no. Like, he's actually really nice. And
We
he
can
was like,
confirm he is a very nice
he
one.
was very sweet. But like, I really genuinely could feel like there was nothing that was very playerish about him. And so I thought, you know what, it doesn't hurt to hang out with this guy. And I'm glad I did, because that night, like, the night we hung out, we literally just spoke for hours. And it was awesome. He was so cool. And yeah. So the rest is history.
Oh, so is the Macca's car park story true?
Yes.
Where you guys went to drive
Yes.
through and you were like,
Yeah.
That's the story they told at the
Yeah.
wedding. Yeah.
It is true, because so I used to work at YD. I was working at YD Maryland, and he was living at I can't remember the area, near Liverpool, somewhere. Not Hinchable, but so around there. And so that was like a kind of halfway point to me. And
Yeah.
because I was a bit nervous, I didn't want to go on a proper date. Like, he wanted to take me on a proper date. I
Yeah.
remember him saying it, and I'm a bit of a weird person. I was a bit awkward, so I was like, oh, let's just hang out first, you know?
I think that's how it is these days, though. Like,
Yeah.
there's no big restaurant formal date anymore. Too
No,
much.
I was also very shy, so I didn't want to do that. Like, I think he really kind of was trying to, like, I felt like he was really trying to be a gentleman and wanting to take me out, but I was also very awkward, and I kind of just wanted to hang out with him first. And then, but yeah, he did do that. He did, like, he did say, you can have anything. And again, being shy and awkward on this first time I'm hanging out, I was like, no, it's okay, I don't want anything. So he's very glad that I said that. So
Yeah.
that's definitely true.
I wonder what the plan would have been if you had wanted something.
Yeah,
Because the story is you had no money on the card, right?
Yeah.
apparently, but
He would have gone into the
he was so
minors for you.
confident, I couldn't have told. Like, honestly, you could not have told me. Like, I never would have known, because he was very confident in the way he said it. So yeah, it's funny.
Let's see. We've got Too Sweet Money Chew, BKB with the moves in and out of the ring.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're married now, so
Yeah.
Exactly.
he did something right. I guess it was the eyelashes, wasn't it?
It was the eyelashes.
Yeah.
That was what originally won me over, but I didn't realize. So
Right.
yeah,
Subconsciously.
yeah.
Let's see, what do we got here?
That's how you got to talk to your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Tim.
Yeah,
puppeteer, yeah.
Tell her you like her eyelashes. So
Yeah.
I'll do it tonight.
Tell her.
Let us know how you go.
yes, please
Oh,
let
you
me
know it's gonna go.
She slapped me in the face.
You know what I'll be doing.
Gonna have mini puppeteers running around very soon, aren't we?
Every time we have him, he starts talking about sex.
Yeah.
I was just saying a nice way to be. Like, how to be nice.
Yeah, you should see our Wednesday nights. It's,
Everything's an analogy.
Everything's an analogy. What do we got in the comments box? You've been looking at him for 20 minutes.
Yeah, so Jim. David Bullock says it was worth asking. Thanks.
Yeah, there was some new information
Yeah,
there.
there was. We found out that BKB's a player. We love it.
Because he likes eyelashes.
Yeah. So all the single guys that are watching, out of the 4 people that we've got on here right now, yeah, just
The way to a woman's heart
is her eyelashes.
is through the eyelashes.
That's right. I mean, she might not like her straight away, but we'll win her over eventually.
And
Unless
then
you're 5'8".
and then
We're gonna get so much heat with him. He's a watcher of the
he's
podcast.
a heat magnet. You're such a heat.
I
No,
don't
no, he's a heat seeker. He's a heat seeker.
I don't mind him. and the heat comes to us. It doesn't come to you,
Yeah.
puppeteer.
You got to come out in some flaming outfits or something. You know?
I know we're gonna
Heat
end up
seeker,
on another Facebook story. Jeez.
Oh,
Far out.
Box comment.
Oh, God.
No comment.
I love your eyelashes, Zena.
Cup of tea. One more and you're out of here.
You said it, not me, pal.
One more and you're out of here.
Oh god.
This podcast gets me so much heat. Like, people hate me who I haven't even met.
People hate me and they don't even know who I am.
You're 3 months in and you got more heat than most.
No, I think people hate me too, but no one will say it to my face. So.
It's true. It is always that case. Like,
Yeah.
people have heat with you and then they see you at a show, they just don't talk to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, come on,
I'll say it to their face. I don't care.
Oh, jazz.
Stop
Mr. Hardy Production says, "How is your son?"
He's awesome. He's really good. He's with my mum at the moment, actually. So she looks after him on Sunday, so I can come to training. So
How is Jordan? I mean, like, how old is he?
he is a year and 9 months.
Wow.
So he'll be 2 in October. So
So he's about 14 years away from getting in the ring.
what do you mean? He's already been in the ring.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, isn't I think Mark Nell took a photo of
Keegan Finnegan.
yeah, Keegan Finnegan. Yeah.
Keegan always needs to have these moments with his one-up Jordan. He just wants to have like a big bunch of receipts for later to say, "Look, son, you might be wrestling now, but these are all the times I've been
Yeah.
try and catch up to that." So
I saw this video that you posted of him patting Seamus, your cat, and then he like was pulling his tail, and I was missing.
he's
like,
so
wow.
cheeky at the moment. Like he makes me laugh. He's so funny because he's the type, like he does some really funny things. Like, you know, obviously with our cat, he'll pat him and he'll look at me and someone's like, and I'm like, "Hey, don't!" And he'll just be like, he'll just look at me like smiling, like he knows. But the funniest thing at the moment is he's been a bit foolish. So we come out with the syringe and like the medicine, you know, like the ready to go. Like I walk in the room and he looks at me. No, like with medicine in it, to give him like
the kids.
Mitch, have you not been sick? Have you not seen?
Not as a child for a long time.
He's like 1 year old,
Right.
so I give him it in the syringe so he can eat it in his mouth.
Yeah, that's how I used to have medicine when I was young.
Good bitch. He's like, think about it.
I'm clearly no medical degree here.
No, as soon as I walk out of the room, he looks at me and he's like, and he just runs to the corner of the room like it's gonna make a difference. But it's just he's a very funny boy at the moment.
Should we answer that last one?
Oh, what is it?
Mr. Hardy Production says, "What is your best 5-star story?"
Oh my god. I have I don't know. I have a funny one.
Can we get a 5-star story and an FWA one?
Ooh.
Okay, I've got some.
Okay.
And
This is what the people are here for, the dirt.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying it right now, Fabi, there's no heat. Like, we still love you, but this story is funny. And if you try and put it on your story and try and cause heat from it, we will have problems.
Careful, he might block you like you did me.
No, look, I've got no heat with Fabi. I've got no heat with him. And I'm
I
saying it right now out in the open. Like, I genuinely don't have heat. Like, what's happened, but I don't have any hatred, nothing at all. Like, you know.
I said publicly I have no heat with him, but still blocked.
Yeah, no, I'm
not blocked. I'm not blocked. He still sees my stuff, I think.
I don't
But
know. I met the guy once. Like,
He refused to do a podcast. You big time, Jimmy. Fuck out of here, Alex Box. I'm not doing your podcast, mate.
my best 5-star story ever, and this is one that's like been a highlight in my whole life forever.
Yep.
Is we're at training. It was back in the APWG days, and Lee would get us to do like promo drills where we partner up with somebody, we get in the ring, and we do like a heat promo. So it'd be like one would be the heel, one would be the face, and we promos against each other, and they would have to kind of collab. So Fivey gets partnered with. We used to have this guy John in our class. He was like an old guy, but he loved wrestling training, and he never missed a training session. And so.
I know this story, and it's very funny.
she's laughing before she's even hit the punchline.
Okay.
It is. It's
That
funny.
was a good
It's
one.
funny.
Okay, so basically what it was is like the two guys would be in the ring and you'd cut these promos on each other or whatever. Anyway, during this promo, and John is an old guy, bless his heart, and he ends the promo with, I'm gonna so he's standing in the corner, he's like, I'm gonna drop kick you here, and he just slaps him across the face, and Lee was just like, why would you slap him? Like, we're meant to be doing these, and we all were just like, oh my god, you just did. We all laughed our heads off. Like, we were like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, we're doing verbal promos. Like, he just like, I'm going to drop you here, here, and here. And he like points at his head, points at his chest, and then I don't know where he points at his feet or something. But then slaps him. And we were just like,
I don't know where he pointed.
but it was just very funny because, like, I felt feel like that was such a classic 5E moment. Like we all laughed. Like we just thought it was funny. Like, oh 5E, bless your heart. Like
That's a good natured one though.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
is
gonna
a
say
funny
any
one.
mean
That doesn't
ones.
bury anyone. That's a good one.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm not here to bury him at all. Like it was more like that was just a funny classic 5E moment. Like we all laughed about, you know. So, and then an FWA story, a funny one. Let me think.
How many FWA shows did you do?
Oh my god, I didn't
Not-
do that many.
Not many. Yeah.
I was a part of the first one, obviously.
You didn't wrestle on the first one though, did you?
I did actually.
Oh, you did?
I did wrestle. I've been first women's match on many shows actually.
Wow.
So first women's match on that one, and then I'm trying to think of a good fighting story from FWA.
Actually, while you think of that, what was the first women's match on All Star?
Jazz was in it.
Was it?
It was,
Mystery, guys.
Azalea versus Jasmine versus Tali at a
Yeah.
night. Remember,
And
2019.
who won that
Jazz
one?
won.
That's right, guys.
She is.
Not
the
much.
first-
Not much has changed.
That's why she's the first lady of All Star Wrestling. She genuinely was the first lady of All Star
That
Wrestling.
was.
Jazz is like the
And
Goldberg
Azalea
of
too,
All
Azalea
Star.
too.
You
So-
say Jazz is like the Goldberg of
Yeah,
All
she
Star?
never loses, and if she does,
What do you
it's
mean,
like
like,
there's
what?
She lost, like
shenanigans.
the last like
No,
7
but-
matches.
Like, when's the last time you lost clean, Jazz?
Have you lost clean in All Star?
Probably not.
Well, technically, I know. Technically, with Shazza, you could say I kind of lost clean.
Oh,
But I mean-
when she won the belt.
Yeah, but I mean,
I
I
don't
didn't
remember.
really. Like it was, yeah. I kind of lost clean in the end because she didn't try and do something dodgy. It was just she just got me by surprise.
All right, well, that's clean. That's clean.
Yeah,
But even Goldberg lost a couple clean.
that's
Yeah.
right. Well, hey, I love Goldberg, so I am very proud to be Goldberg of All Star,
Yeah,
which is
that's
why I'm very offended, guys, that when you guys were talking about your footy lineup last week, that I had no mention. Wow.
That's right. No one
So
cares
rude.
about the footy line.
That's right. Yeah, our ratings got dumped.
Yeah, I got shat on so hard.
Big shout out to Will from France. You were right, buddy. You were right.
Oh.
You know what? I'm going
Come on,
to
Will.
publicly apologize to Will from France.
I
Right?
like that segment.
I'm going to publicly apologize because I shat on you for shitting on me, and we've like just hit 100 views, and it's been a week.
And he watches the pod. He watches the pod every week.
Well, look, I don't want to offend you guys. I actually skipped through that part last week. Just saying.
I'm
Well,
not
then how
offended.
did you know that?
I told
Because
him.
I heard it and I was like, stuff you guys. You don't even mention me.
I said to him, I go, nobody wants the footy talk. No, we got to do the lineup.
Well, Keegan wanted to do the lineup
Yeah,
actually.
Keegsy doesn't know.
Yeah. See, oh, even the puppeteer liked it.
Yeah, the puppeteer liked
See,
it.
David
because
Bullock
we
and
said
his
nothing.
kids love the team. Shout out to Wes Williams, who also loved the team. But that's it.
Shout out to Special Man Jace, who hated the team.
Sorry.
You also offended Ryan Eagles, who was upset that he wasn't the coach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ryan.
why
Yeah.
would you
And
not
then you
be-
threw me under the bus.
Who's cheerleader?
It's like Mitch demanded to be the coach.
I
Well-
refuse to be the water chick, guys.
No, I'm the water boy and he's the coach.
No, didn't you say who's the cheerleader?
Yeah. Who's the cheerleader?
Vicky Van Blair. Oh, we're gonna have.
No, your puppet. Your puppet.
Yeah, your puppet. Your
The,
puppet.
the puppet would make a cute cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason, just quickly, I know we don't like talking. The only reason I put you as coach instead of Ryan Eagles is because I feel like he'd be a better
Oh,
player than you.
People are going, "Whoa."
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I think he'd be a better player.
I've carved up at training a lot, but it doesn't matter.
Anyway, what else have we got?
Let's go to cardio.
so your best FWA story.
Yes.
Look, I don't have one, but I think a highlight of my whole life was when Keegan Keegan actually. So just before we got booted the first time off FWA, Keegan and Fivey had I think they had a match. No, I don't even know if it was a match. I think something happened afterwards where we had to basically turn heel and attack Fivey. And my favorite thing, it's not really a story because I don't really have any from FWA. I mean, like I don't really. Oh, actually, no. Yes, I have a highlight.
You said you got booted. Can we go into that, or is it too?
Yeah, so we got booted because Keegan botched. It was very funny. Botchamania put it up, and then Fivey got offended and thought that we were making fun of his company, but Keegan was making fun of himself.
And you got on Botchamania.
The guy that runs Botchamania put it on his Twitter, like fully put the video of just of Keegan on his Twitter,
Wow.
and it got like hundreds of reshares, everything. And
I
like,
need to
he
see this.
Well, got removed because Fivey was so offended, thinking that it was against FWA. But Keegan was trying to explain, no, I'm laughing at myself. Like I botched,
WWE
I
and AEW get on Botchamania. Like,
Yeah.
It's true.
So I thought it was very funny. Like I thought, and to be honest, I never, not once thought, oh, it's FWA. Like it, Keegan botched. It was funny. Keegan can laugh about it. Like
Yeah, nobody really shits on the promotion when someone botches.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, WWE shit
No,
because Seth
I
Rollins
didn't-
botched.
Yeah.
It did not even pop to my head whatsoever. It was just a very funny Keegan thing to do. Like Keegan doesn't botch, and it was very funny. Like and the way he did it was like he went to, I think he ran from the ropes and he kind of went through the rope, and it was like a.
Oh, I've actually seen footage of that.
It was like, and
I'll
I
hook
remember
you up,
running over
Box.
thinking, okay, because you see me running over in the footage, like, are you right? It was very funny. It was a funny moment, but yeah, he got
That's
very
funny.
offended, and he
I
gave
need
us
to
the
see
boot
this.
after that. But on a positive, Keegan and I fully like destroyed him that last match, and even Keegan stood over him, put his foot on him, and went like this, you know,
Yeah.
just wrestled Hurricane. So
Oh,
it was
that's
funny.
good.
It was
Yeah,
a funny
no, that's
thing.
good.
But I think the highlight,
Yep.
which is kind of no bagging out, but it is kind of bagging out. Sorry, Barbie. Sorry.
Oh, here we
The
go.
last show that I did, which was the Rumble show,
Ah.
I think the worst part of it was Fivey winning the belt at the end. Not him winning it, the fact that he won it. No one knew what was happening, and I'm looking around like, is someone doing music? What's going on? I had to run over and press the music because I didn't even know who won. I didn't know what was happening. No one knew what was happening, and then suddenly he's like, cut my music. I'm like, wait, what the hell? Like, mate, I'm not here to do music. I'm a wrestler. Like, what am I doing? What is this? So I just remember.
Bubba likes that one. Let
He
it go.
needs, you know what? He needs someone at the special man table.
Yeah, that's why we have a special man table.
But yeah, that was just like I was started thinking like, what am I doing?
Cut
Come on, fine, at least. No, but the thing is, like, at least
Look at
tell
the
me.
puppet,
I'll
he's
help you
losing
out.
it.
Cut my music. I don't take orders. I'm not the music guy.
I literally was like, I don't know what. I'm just trying to help out. Like, I actually genuinely just wanted to help, and I'm not thinking like, it's alright. I'm just glad I got some chops in during the Rumble.
And you know what? You were eliminated by a very credible J-Law.
Yes. No, I wasn't. I was
wasn't
not.
J-Law?
He tried to eliminate me, but I was actually eliminated by another wrestler named Aspen.
Oh, I thought it was J-Law.
So no, he tried to eliminate me, and I held on for dear life. So and then I got
Or did you throw out another All-Star guy? I know there was.
Let's not go there,
I
Chief.
actually threw out Azalea.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't throw her out. I kind of just
I don't know. I thought there
got
was
the
something
one
in there.
on her.
Let's not go there.
Let's not go.
No,
Let's-
I eliminated Azalea.
That's
I
right.
eliminated Azalea,
Yep.
guys. So.
Okay.
She eliminated Azalea, and that was it. Because we don't want me going for 30 minutes on the topic that nobody cares about.
Well, I mean, hey, we've got 40 minutes.
we'll
left.
dump our rating again. Don't get me started on that topic.
Let's talk about something else.
Getting
guys.
heated
Yeah,
thinking about it.
we've got.
Jasmin Brettle, smelliest wrestler that you've been in the ring with.
Oh yeah, so we were talking
Oh my
about
God.
this.
There's actually some that I've been in. that-
You got to name a name as well.
Yeah, at least one.
Oh,
No,
God.
wait, no, you can't. You can't name a
I
name.
was gonna say, give us a women's wrestler and a men's wrestler.
She hasn't wrestled that many men in
No,
Australia.
even,
has
like,
she?
even in like the locker room.
Oh,
Because
okay.
Keegan always smells great. I don't know what it is. But like,
Except his knee pads.
yeah,
Sorry,
those.
You're the biggest fanboy for Keegan, Box.
Oh, actually, I have beef with you, bitch. Not beef. I said it to Keegan
Oh.
last week.
Oh, we're going to have a
think
debate.
We talk about Aries all the time on the podcast.
I love
All the
Aries,
time.
yeah. He's like my
Hey,
son.
I'm an okay all-star person. What about me? What about
I will
am?
say.
I love everyone.
My
I like
son-
how Aries is great. I get it. We love
Big
it.
shout out to my son, Aries. He watches
me-
the pod.
He does, yeah. Me.
He tuned out during the footy talk, though, he told us.
Yeah, last night at 4 a.m. when we were playing prop hunting on Fortnite. That was funny. That was good. You still
yeah.
owe us a game of Fortnite.
I know, I do. I actually don't play as much these days. I used to play a lot more. Yeah, Keegan's like fully hit over 100. I'm only on like 80.
Yeah, I hit
Oh,
100
wow,
last
okay.
night. Yeah.
So I'm still very behind, but I'm smelliest person.
Yep.
Okay, so guys, there are a few, and I feel like I don't want to bag any more people
There
out.
is.
Puppeteer.
I actually had to do some chain wrestling with Tommy Trigger, and he stunk.
Whoa, a name has been named.
Sorry, Tommy Trigger.
Oh, no.
Beef, but he smells. Mate, he smells.
Trigger.
I'm sorry, mate.
Oh,
Don't
no.
lie.
I like Tommy Trigger, by the
I
way.
don't lie.
Box
as
comment?
as for females, yes, there is a
Jeez.
female wrestler who is not around anymore, but I'll name her because she doesn't like me anyway.
Oh.
Kira Summers.
Oh, my
She
goodness.
stunk of cigarettes, like reeked.
Oh.
I wrestled her one time when I was very green, and it just all I smelled was cigarettes. It was gross. So.
We name names here on the Mitch and Alex show.
Sweet Matty Jew is dying just as much as I am. Wow.
I'm not here to start beef. I'm just telling you guys. said, no,
Tommy
no,
Trigger.
down.
Invest in some deodorant, my bro.
Look, in his defense, it was probably because he was training. I don't know what it was. It was just in that moment. I was like, oh.
When did you chain wrestle with Tommy Trigger?
You were doing stuff in the ring during. It was before one of the shows, like a while ago. It was a one-off, to be honest. Like after that, I think I had done something with him and he didn't smell. But that day, he just had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will defend.
So it was a one-time thing.
Yeah. No,
I'll defend Tommy Trigger. He doesn't usually smell.
Yeah, no, it was a one-off. It was a one-off, and he hadn't even had one. So
Probably did a hard day's work on ring crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You're off the hook, Tommy.
You're off the
Yeah.
hook, Trigger.
But again, I don't want to lie, guys. I just want to be honest.
Trigger, you owe me next time I see you.
He owes you?
Yeah, because I just got him off the hook there.
Oh, okay. Okay. You know, we've got half an hour left. Now, I don't know if you wanted to do this or not, but should we call Charlie Hart?
It's actually 12 a.m. over
I
there, I
would love
think.
to call him because I was meant to tag with him on the show. It
Oh,
never
that's
happened.
right, yeah.
We could have been the world's greatest tag team.
Well, let's see
I
what.
know, but no, he had to ruin it.
Should we call Charlie? I don't know. Like, I don't really have like. Just while you're googling something at the moment,
Yeah.
Mitch. Just because he probably won't get mentioned, and he's been mentioned every episode, and I don't want to ruin the streak.
Deepak.
Shout out to Deepak.
I love you, Deepak. Big fan.
It's 1 a.m. So we can call Charlie Haas, but you got to do it, Box.
What do I say?
You go, hey, you owe my podcast co-host 3,000 US. When is he gonna get it?
Oh my God. Yeah, then the next thing you know, he blocks you and everything, and you never get that money.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna pay it though. Like, let's touch on that for a second. I messaged Charlie Haas like 2-3 weeks ago.
Wasn't he supposed to send you voice messages or
Well,
something?
he's actually been posting. I actually.
Oh yeah, he's back.
Yeah, he's been posting about shows and.
Oh, living a great life.
Things, and it's like, oh hey man, no worries. You posted about All Star. What about that?
Yeah, I remember he put up a post maybe a month or like his first post after the incident.
No, the incident apparently was completely like.
Oh, he
true.
just no. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, but whatever happened, he no-showed, and then he posted not long after it. And there was so many people that like, what happened to you? Where were you? Why didn't you show up to Australia?
Did people say that really?
Yeah.
Did he reply?
No.
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 Why
Well,
would
to
you?
be honest, I think not that he would see this. I hope he eventually somehow does. But if I were him, I think, you know what? I suck up big time. I should make it up to this promotion who put their heart into bringing me out. Either I pay back the money, or I will fly myself out and at least do a show and just make it up to them because it was so dodgy on my behalf. But at least freaking contact you and like say, hey, I fucked up. I'm so sorry. Or hey, I had stuff going on. Like, we're understanding. I think you're a very understanding person.
I waited a year for the money.
Yeah, it's like literally.
It's almost been a year. Yeah.
It's just
You know what,
it's
Charlie
really
Haas?
disappointing,
You were part of the world's greatest tag team. You were teaming with Kurt Angle. You must be rolling in the dough. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, come on, chatlers.
We'll tell the Chatler story later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
Okay. Too Sweet Matty Chew says just book Shelton instead when his contract is up. Way better than Charlie.
Man, I did a seminar with him.
I am a big fan of Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah,
actually.
standard.
He was actually very funny. He bagged out like Roman Reigns in our seminar.
Really?
Yeah, he was full
Oh,
like.
we're gonna get the dirt sheets now.
No, but this was back.
We're gonna make PWI down under again.
No, but this was like back in 2015 when I did the seminar.
Yeah.
So like he was on the indie still.
Hadn't
But
met
he-
Roman.
Yeah, how did
Well, he's more from OVW.
Oh.
But no, he said the whole thing was he felt like, you've got guys like Brock Lesnar, John Cena, whatever, who felt like paid their dues. Like they were driving the ring truck, they were doing all that stuff. He goes, these new guys like Roman, they have no idea what it's like to pay your dues. Like they have everything done for them. And I was like, so right, I can totally see where you're coming from with that,
Yeah.
So no, he wasn't fully bagging him. He was just kind of like, he doesn't know what it's like to pay dues. Like, because he wasn't around back when we had to do all that kind of stuff and blah, blah, blah. And,
Yeah.
but,
I wonder if he acknowledges the tribal chief now.
For sure he does. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No SummerSlam spoilers in the comments, by the way. I'm gonna go watch that.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I haven't seen
Yeah.
anything.
And no spoilers on the Para game either. Whatever.
Well, it has only popped up on my
I don't
phone
mind
about
spoilers
the
on either.
The League Live app, whatever it's called, and I was like, I'm not looking.
Yeah, no, I'm watching it. It's the Dragons, and I know we'll probably flog them, but I'm just worried in case.
I would laugh if the Dragons pump Para.
Yeah, you said last night in the chat that you want them to
Shut
flog.
up,
You know what he said? He goes, I hope the Dragons pump the Eels 59-0.
Get
Yeah.
the win, Mitch. Come on.
I'm sorry, but
Oh, you're
the
better
Roosters
than that.
need to make it.
Listen, now you've got heat with me. That's it.
Yeah. See, us Parafans, we stick together.
Got
We
heat with
do, we
everyone.
do. Go support your Roosters.
David Bullock says it would be a decent thing to do, Mr. Haas. You know what? No, don't send the $3,000. He's a Roosters fan. Sack it.
Send it to us, Parafans.
Box.
Yeah, we'll split it 1,500 each. Yeah, sweet.
Sweet.
Well, no, it's 3,000 US,
Which is how much?
like 4.5
Yeah,
Australian,
Alright, well, we'll split 1,500 US.
Done.
each.
Sorry,
or
Mitch.
22.50 each.
Yeah, I couldn't be bothered doing that side. SummerSlam was a bit all over the place. I don't know. I watched one match and it was not so bad.
I don't really know many matches at the moment. Like, I know of two, but
I can't contribute to the WWE talk.
No, yeah, you know, yeah. Actually, I want to know more about your Randy Orton life-size Randy Orton cutout. Like,
Yeah, why the love for Randy, Jazz?
okay.
Apart from being like a 10 out of 10
Yeah,
in the
he
looks
is.
department.
yeah,
It's funny
and
actually
the wrestling department.
because
Yeah, he's a
fun
good wrestler,
story.
yeah.
I was actually obsessed with Randy Orton when he wasn't popular at all.
Oh, is this like before he was
Pre-evolution.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
I was like, I don't know what it was. I remember
Yeah.
telling myself, oh, I'm 12, he's 24. It could work out one day.
when he came out to like this Fire Burns that one time, and then they gave it to CM Punk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's exactly it. That was actually in Australia as well.
Really?
Yeah, the first WWE live thing, he came out to that song.
So
But,
you were you were into O2 Randy Orton.
Yes. I
Wow.
was just obsessed with him. Like, I was obsessed. And then he joined Evolution, and I was like, oh, he's the best.
Yeah.
He's the best ever. And I was just like, I was totally like, to the point where my dad actually went and bought me a Randy autograph because I was like, he knew that I was like obsessed with him. Like,
Wow.
it was like anyone that knew me knew Randy Orton was like my favorite wrestler ever. Like,
I also hope he comes back soon. It's
it
sad.
was, like,
It's been like over a year since he's been around, and it sucks.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he injured his back and he had to get surgery. Apparently, doctors have told him he shouldn't wrestle again, but
yeah, that is very sad because like
he's one of the greatest of all time. in my
100%,
mind.
100%. But yeah, the life size cutout I actually bought for myself because like I said, he was my favorite, like my favorite ever. Like I had never had a favorite wrestler like Randy Orton, and so
How much did you pay for this lifestyle?
$60.
Yeah, they're pretty
$60.
expensive. Yeah.
No, now they're actually selling for more, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Like, I saw the exact one that I had. Someone was selling it secondhand for like $80.
I tagged you in it on
Yeah.
Facebook.
But the one that I had was like pristine. I got it brand new. I bought it like totally in packaging, everything.
Wow.
But I had to get rid of it because when Keegan and I moved in together, he wouldn't let me bring it. I threw it out. So
Imagine it's just like sitting in the corner of your bedroom staring at you while you sleep. Like,
Keegan
That
was
would be
not-
weird.
was not for- No, Keegan was not for it. He was like, "You pick me or Randy Orton." I was like, "Oh, come on, you're making it hard."
You know-
you have to think about it.
I know, but no, I was in love. Randy Orton is my favorite wrestler. So I was big, like, no matter what phase I went through in my life, like I think just before I met Keegan, like I was big on like I had a massive circle of friends. I went out clubbing, knew all the promoters. Like I was one of those chicks, but I was a big wrestling fan. So when they would come over for pre-drinks, it was like, oh, we got a big statue of a man half naked in your room. You're like, well, guys, he's a wrestler.
and then
He's
you had
Randy Orton.
like all the posters up on your wall as
Oh,
well.
I did. I
Yeah.
had all of them up. But I just, I loved it. Like,
I
he's my
don't know.
favorite
I love
wrestler.
Shawn Michaels, but I've never had a life-size cutout or posters on my wall.
Well,
Yeah,
speaking
but you would
of,
have one of Trish, right? You'd have like a Trish cutout.
nah, that'd
No,
be
I
a bit
never had
weird.
any cutout.
If you could.
Maybe. I'm trying to think. Like, I was a huge Kelly fan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She
You
was-
might have been the only one.
No, I mean like looks wise.
Really? Oh, looks wise, yes,
No,
yes.
I like Kelly Kelly.
Or like-
She meant well.
Michelle
She
McCool,
meant well, yeah.
Michelle McCool, underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who used to be one of my favorites that I actually genuinely thought was underrated? Eve Torres.
Yeah.
She was always like,
Yeah, I like-
a lot of my moves I got because of her.
Or like Alicia Fox as well. She wasn't
Yeah.
bad,
Margot Robbie's first boyfriend had a John Cena cutout in his house.
Yeah, but she said she loved John Cena.
Yeah,
In the
but
interview,
yeah.
she-
But
that's hilarious.
her one of her first boyfriends had a life-size Cena cutout.
Wow.
So
That's so
You know what?
funny, and
If
she's
you
into
guys had any life-size cutouts of wrestlers, sound off in the comments.
I know who had a life-size cutout,
Who?
and this one will pop you maybe.
Was it Will from France?
No, better. So a long time ago, I visited TNT's house, and he has a life-size, or well, he had a life-size cutout of the Undertaker in his living room.
Right, and it was like one.
You
of
might
those
need to
ones-
get one of the AWF guys to confirm if that's still a thing.
Was it one of
That's kind
those?
of weird that it's in his living room. It's like, oh,
I think
hey,
it was
I'm
in the living
Shayna.
room. Yeah.
Good
Was it one
morning.
of those things where it was like the cutout and then it had like a white trim and then the back like it had a stand? Was it
Oh,
like-
I don't remember that much, but it was a standee
Yeah,
in his
right.
house.
Okay.
And I would never do that. That's crazy.
Too Sweet Matty True says Kelly officially Team Box for life. Thanks, Matt. Dave Bullock, Eve Torres, very underrated. Jason, let's see. I had a
Jason, I love him.
I had a life-size cutout of the Paddle Pop Lion 05H. No shame.
Amazing.
Mr. Hardy Reduction says I almost got a Finn one, a Finn Balor one. Yeah, fair enough. Bro's got he's got 10 abs. I don't know how he does it.
Because he's so little.
Yeah. Too Sweet Matty True, dead man in the living room.
Could you imagine?
That's so stupid. That is so stupid.
Now, hopefully
Get
I
off
don't.
your phone,
I'm sorry.
Antisocial.
Wow, I'm so bored.
I've got
because
pertinent
I
messages
that,
to send.
Pertinent.
You
I
know,
like when you
important,
use that word.
important, yeah.
Yeah. Has anyone else had any life-size? Have you ever had
Box, you're desperate for content here.
No.
Has anyone else had a life-size cutout? Please post.
No, well, I want to know. But also, I think you're you have heaps of wrestling memorabilia, but I think my favorite thing is your Ultimate Dragon.
I have an Ultimate Dragon mask. Yeah.
Was it worn by the Ultimate
No,
Dragon?
just signed.
It's very cool though.
Yeah, it's like sitting on a mannequin head on your dining table.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mia insisted it stays in the living room. I'm like, we can just put it in the bedroom. No, it stays here.
You're gonna draw some eyes in it too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Keegan wanted a Hulk Hogan poster up in our room. I said no, Keegan.
Oh, it's the Hulk stuff. What do you
Wow.
mean, no?
Because when I was dating him and he was living by himself, he had posters in his lounge room of Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
and I was like,
understandable.
no, I don't think I'll want that in my place. You
Yeah,
can have a man cave one day, But
Yeah, because Hogan vs. The Rock is his favorite match.
yes.
Yeah.
He made our son watch it when he was born.
Yep,
So,
I do recall
When he was
that.
born.
Yep.
when he was born, I actually have a video of him showing our son as a brand new newborn who just came out of my building an hour earlier. That match.
This is wrestling. You're gonna love it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
If you don't love it, you're out of the house.
That's good. Mr. Hardy Production says, if APWG were to make a return, would you go back?
100% I would. 100%. But the good thing, one thing I loved about being there is I feel like if they did return, 100% they would be equal with All-Star. There would be no heat between All-Star and APWG.
We'd be affiliates.
100%.
Yeah.
It was just an awesome environment, and like I said, Lee, best person, best trainer by far. So yeah, it'd be 100% I would.
I guess similar to the relationship we have with Wrestling Go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I look at all those guys, like you guys, all Wrestling Go, all that. Yeah.
Here we go. This is a spicy one. Jason getting in there.
Jason will bring the content.
He will.
He will.
Shout out to Jason. Who was the worst show you've ever worked?
Oh.
Okay.
Hopefully not early All-Star.
No, Keegan said it I think last week or
Yeah.
the week before, but no, we had really good, we left happy the first
I
show.
think
We
you
really did.
told me the story that you and Keegan left that first show, or maybe it was a Padstow or something, and Keegan said there's something special about it.
Yeah, it wasn't Padstow because Padstow wasn't a thing.
Oh,
yet.
that's right.
They'd been there for 2 years by the first
Yeah.
Padstow show.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember where it was. It was more towards Wollongong, of course. And
Coonawarra.
yeah, but no, we just liked the vibes. We liked the environment. It was awesome. But worst show I've done. Oh man, I don't know. I mean, there's so many I can
it's a
name.
shit.
There's so many.
Is it
Well, that's the thing,
Is it more in regards to the worst show that I've done, or the worst match I've had? On
Nah,
the show?
worst show I think he means. I don't know this Jason, but I'm sure that's what he means.
Yeah.
He wants you to shit on someone.
Yeah, well, look, we had that Wednesday night episode with Johnny Starr, and we talked about our 5 worst feds. So
Oh, let's not go there.
no,
I've got
but
a
I'm
lot
saying,
of
but,
hate.
you can shit on
Oh
people.
god,
It's
I actually don't know.
It's not gonna
I'm
get us
gonna
any more
say-
hate.
ICW.
Yeah, but they're not that bad. They weren't they were all very nice people. That's the thing.
I think the problem is you're too nice.
No, I'm actually not.
No, she shit on Kira Summers and Tommy Trigger for
Oh, yeah.
smelling.
Yeah, but in my defense though, Kirsten is I wrestled her when I was 3 matches in, and she fully did not take care of me. I was very, very green. I literally said to her beforehand, "Hey, I'm very new. If you could help me out." Harley Wonderland went off at her after the match saying she's green. You need to look after her. So
Yeah. What a
what
cat.
was I saying? Now, okay. So I think the worst show I ever did, I'm gonna say, was it was actually an AWF show. It's not because it wasn't because of the it was because of the vibe that I was getting from TNT beforehand. I had a friend with me because it was a very awkward kind of, like, I got put into a very crappy situation where I had to wrestle a stripper.
I know this story.
It was pitched as she was from Ring of Honor, blah blah blah, and I was so keen. Like, I
Okay,
was
no,
so
wait. Please
excited.
tell this story. I'm now intrigued.
She's telling her book. She just interrupted her.
Okay, from the top. So, long story short, I was meant to wrestle this girl, Elena, and Elena is trash. Like, and I'll say that publicly still because she started rumors that Keegan bashes me, and
Yeah, so this is the content.
yeah. So, and I will publicly call her out every single time because I know what happened. I've read messages, but she'll never admit it ever. And now she's just vanished from wrestling because she's crap and no one wants to book her. But that's another day story. But anyway, she pulled out of that show, thank goodness, because it was going to be one or the other, and I think she ended up pulling out. So, next thing you know, he announces this girl, and he says, "Oh, she's from Ring of Honor, blah blah blah." He puts this whole post about her, and I'm thinking, oh, this is awesome. Like, Keegan and I are about to go to America in the next month. Like, this will be so good for me.
Good
like,
connection.
I'm really excited. Like, I was actually very, very excited. This is going to be awesome. So anyway, I'm trying to find this girl stuff. I'm looking through her Instagram, and to be honest, it kind of looked like she was just like an idiot. So I was like, this is a bit weird, but I'm not going to judge. What if she just, what if like I'm not looking at the right thing, or what if she deleted? Like, you don't know. You don't know. I didn't want to judge at all. So anyway, the show day comes. I actually had a friend come early to hang out with me because I kind of was a bit weird. I think Keegan was there. Well, Keegan was wrestling, but obviously he was doing his thing. And then I didn't know about this girl, so I didn't know when she was going to rock up or whatever. Anyway, so the girl rocks up, and I'm thinking, she's not really a wrestler, but no judgment. And so I'm like, whatever. And then, so Greg gets really shitty because I have my friend with me. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing back? So you can't be here." And I was like, "Oh, come on, man! Like, she'll pay for a ticket. Calm your phone. Like, you'll get your money." She was just, I just wanted her with me because I'm there by myself. Like, the girls, everyone's doing their stuff. Anyway, so the more I'm talking to this girl, the more I'm realizing she's not a wrestler. This is a bit odd. Then I find out she was a dancer at a club that Greg went to. Greg found out she trained for 3 months at Ring of Honor, and he thought, "Hey, do you want to come wrestle for me? Like, I actually have a girl that you could wrestle." So that's when I found out that I actually was not wrestling a girl that trained at Ring of Honor.
Wow.
She had trained with them for 3 months and left a year prior, whatever it was. And then, so I was already like not unhappy. There was no proper locker room for me to change in nothing. It was a bit of a weird venue. And then next thing you know, it's like, we're planning this match. And so I thought I planned like a squash. I'm like, whatever. I was a heel. I'll plan it like a squash. And, and then he comes in, no. I want her to go over clean. Come on, man. Like, you're making my life hard. Like, so I tried to plan it again like a squash, but she goes over clean in the end. No. I want you to do chain at the start. I want, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, oh my God, like, he was actually being it was the only show that I was actually getting very annoyed with him because it was like he was so pushy about making this chick look like this amazing baby face.
He must not have had any money when he went to the club.
Hey, give us a dance, I'll give you a push.
One time I was so I just felt so angry. Like, I felt so angry because I thought like he didn't care about how I was feeling as someone who was trained.
Yeah.
He was more about making her look great, and I'm trying to play the match smart, like, so she doesn't take many bumps. So I'm on top, and then she just gets one thing over me. Then he decides he wants her to win at the end with a big crossbody. Yep. So the match was obviously crappy. Like, they uploaded it on their YouTube, and I was like horrified for dear life that they uploaded it because this girl's boob popped out a few times in the match. Like, she was wearing a bikini. Like,
I will be seeing this match out.
Yeah, Box will be watching that one tonight.
It would be. No, but it was like, I felt very, very flat. Like, that was the first show I ever left feeling like I was a piece of crap. Like, that was when I really felt like, oh, what am I doing with my life? Like, he wanted her to win clean. He wanted her to look like a star. She gave me a crossbody, and I had to fully turn into it to catch her because she jumped straight. She jumped straight at me. And, like, she was a nice girl, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want to bag her out fully, but, like, what is Greg doing putting an untrained professional in the ring with me? Like,
you would have been
and
better
wanting
off.
her to look like a star. Like, that was what the worst part was. Like, let me plan a squash and let me plan it safe so that I'll let her have this big win at the end, but let me plan it totally
safely.
Yeah, but it was just like, no. He insisted on Shane, insisted on her having these big comebacks, and he was so pushy about it that it was like it made me not want to be there. So that was the only show that I can genuinely say I hated with a passion working because I just I just felt like he did not care at all for what my feelings were. It was more about how this girl looked, and I don't know. I think it was just so impressive. Maybe because he doesn't have to pay money the next time he goes to the club. I don't know, but it was worse.
Damn.
It was
Sounds like he would have been better off wrestling his life-size Undertaker cutout.
Yes.
Yeah.
I probably should have wrestled that instead. But yeah, that was the worst experience. It was just I just felt like he did not care about me as a wrestler. It was more about her, and it was just horrible. It was a horrible thing for me to be a part of. So.
Jason, I hope that was an adequate answer.
Yeah, that was a well thought out, detailed answer.
It was great.
Yeah. Let's see. Mr. Hardy Production says, "Do you like AEW?"
No.
Oh.
No bagging it out.
Oh,
I just don't really. I try and watch it. I know a few people that are part of it, and it's just, I don't know. Like it just kind of bores me. There's just too much going on, and it's always based around freaking Kenny Omega and all those guys. And
I think
I'm kind of bored of it. Bored. It's a bit too much, to be honest. All their stuff.
I think the hype has died out. When it was first announced, everyone was so excited because it was like, oh, there's going to be a brand new,
major wrestling organization.
Yeah, and
for a while it was like decent.
Their first Double or Nothing show. There was Cody versus Dustin, and it was beautiful. And they've had some great matches, but the hype's died down. It's not as fun anymore, especially when they signed 200 ex-WWE guys.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like there was one episode, I think there was one one pay-per-view that we watched, and I remember it was genuinely really good. It was the one where obviously Bryan Danielson came on the show.
All Out. Yeah, that was a really good show.
And it was freaking awesome. It was so good. Like we watched it like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
But then every time now I watch a little bit of the content. Like there was something that was on the other day. It was like Adam Cole and doing some dance off, and I was like, turning it off. Like
it's funny because they sit there and they promote that they offer an alternative product. It's more professional wrestling than sports entertainment. But then they have segments like that, and that's like it's such a WWE thing. It's like, oh hey, let's have a dance off in the middle of the ring, and then we'll wrestle.
I don't know. I got bored because I felt like when WWE were doing all that stuff, it was awesome. It was perfect, and they were doing it during the right times and the right eras. And I feel like AEW is just trying to relive all the WWE glory. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being biased.
I know, they at the moment they're pulling out an old WWE storyline with CM Punk and this real world title thing. And it's like they did this literally 11 years ago, whatever it was, with him and Cena. They were both WWE champion because Punk won it and then left, and then they crowned Cena as a new champ, and then they both fought.
That was so cool when it was happening. And
that Punk Cena feud is one of my favorite of all time. But now they're redoing it with Punk, and it looks like he's going to feud with MJF, but he's defending this title as the real world championship.
Yeah, it's like you can't relive that moment. Like, it was such a cool moment. Like, that was such a cool time. Like, but when they try and reenact it, it's like, no, you've done it. It's been there, done that. It's like, like the whole, on, you watch South Park, it's like the Simpsons did it. Yeah.
Simpsons did it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how I feel whenever I watch this.
It's just like, I know, like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was refereeing a match today, and it was like, I guess.
Yeah, look, I'm sure all of it is great, and if you like it, great. There's more wrestling out in the world, but I just.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like we've said a few times, if you like wrestling, or like if you like certain wrestling or don't like certain wrestling, that's your barbecue, Chief. You look really tired. You look like you're getting over it.
Oh, just AEW talk. Oh my goodness.
So something else.
Tony Khan, if you're listening, Jasmin Brettle, not interested. Don't bother. WWE, give it a try.
Yes, I love the WWE.
Well, I mean, Shazza McKenzie did some NXT dark matches, didn't she?
She did. I remember actually when I first started training, I remember she was on NXT with Emma.
Wow.
Yeah, so I remember actually, because we did it, Keegan did a Blue Mountain show, I think maybe a few months afterwards, and she was on it, and I remember thinking, oh, that's too cool. I knew who she was straight away, so.
Which is like, it's funny that Emma's now back there, because
she deserves to be.
She's great. Does, but she's doing absolutely jack shit there.
Yeah, but I think it's because her fiance's there. And, it could be like.
WWE do love that real life power couple thing.
But also, too, like no matter what you're doing, like for me personally, if I could be signed and not doing anything much, but for me, it's like the most awesomest thing in the world to be able to be like, I'm signed by WWE.
Yeah, no, yeah, oh, yeah, that's
Mm.
Some
definitely
people
yeah.
it could be the same thing. It could be like,
Yeah.
you know, they're living their childhood dream, like because WWE, no matter what anyone says, is like the ultimate. Like,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
you can't say that any other company is better. Like WWE is the reason why all these like companies
Yeah.
have come out and
Shout out to Vince McMahon if you're watching.
yeah, we love you,
Um,
Vince.
Yeah, like I think she's so she's so talented and deserves to be showcased more. So I think
Vince is like, thanks, pal.
yeah,
I love the Mitch and Alex show. Love to see what they're doing in Australia.
shout out to Hunter and Sean as well. Love you guys. Love it. Yeah, so Mitch tried to rib me the other night, and he sent a photo of like the New Age Outlaws or a video or whatever. He goes, "Box, this is DX." They were, and then
Oh,
explained
no,
it.
I wasn't ribbing you. I was educating.
Yeah. So apparently, I don't know who DX is. Yeah, apparently, I don't know. It's not like Shawn Michaels is my favorite of all time or anything.
Wait, do you actually not know who?
No, I do. He's
Oh,
just,
okay.
He knows
I was
now
like,
because
I
he
was
knows
actually
because I
very
educated
no,
him.
he's taking the piss. And then he messaged me and he was like, he messaged me the other night and he goes, "Box, you know who the NWO is?" And I was like, "Is that the group with Mr. America, Diesel, and Razor Ramon?"
And I said, no, it's not.
No, yeah. So, I don't know. If anyone knows who the NWO is, let me know. No.
Oh, come on.
What did he say? Mr. Hardy Production says you should do an RKO as a thing.
I've actually hit an RKO in a match.
Have you?
Yep, it was at the first Bateman's Bay show against Erica Reed.
Oh, really?
Because
I don't remember.
Fun fact Friday. So Keegan and I actually give each other calendar. It was not even Friday. Fun fact Sunday. Keegan and I actually give each other these little challenges to do in matches sometimes. So sometimes I'll say to him, "Okay, I want you to hit this because I haven't seen you do this." Or sometimes he'll tell me, "Okay, you're not allowed to hit this in the match." So that day was you got to hit an RKO in your match. I was like, done. So I hit one. But I mean, when you got someone like Wes who does a great cutter, I can't try and be on that level. So I'm not going to try. I mean, as much as I'd like to do one, it will not be anywhere close to his one. So there's no point in doing it. I would look like a blob.
Shout out to the All-Star Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the Australian
He's a listener
Nightmare.
of the pod.
The Australian Nightmare, Wes
Appreciate you,
Williams.
Wes. You're a good champ.
He's a listener of the
Fun
pod.
fact, me and Wes once valeted Keegan in a match together. Yeah.
Wow.
No, seriously. Did you
Put
guys
him in a
know?
dress. If you know, you know.
Where was that?
It was an AWF.
Oh, AWF,
Wes-
of course.
There was some weird storyline where, not a weird storyline, but it was like, I think Wes and Keegan were meant to tag or something.
Remember the gimmick where Keegan was American in AWF for like a month?
What?
Which is
Oh, is
funny
this because he
because-
went? Was this after he went over and came back?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's funny because when we were in America, our gimmick was that we were Aussie. Like,
Yeah.
We fully embraced
Yeah, I
Aussie
saw him
stuff.
with the rugby, like the union
Yeah,
jerseys and
so-
stuff.
When I saw him do that, I just thought, oh, he's so white. Stop it. Like, what are you doing?
It's like you traveled to America, you toured America, now you're American.
Oh, that's gold.
it's
That
funny.
is gold. Ooh, what do we got? Should All-Star get more championships? Mitch, comment?
You know what? I feel strongly about this, but I'm not sure if it's a question for me or for Jazz.
I think also doesn't need any more belts.
It's a good point.
Because
So
I think right now you've got a good amount and they're very prestige. But I think the more you add, it's like, when does it become prestige when you're
Well, yeah, well, more on that just quickly, like going back to the whole AEW thing, right? They've got their world title, and then they've got their TNT title, and then they've got the All Atlantic or International Championship, or whatever the hell it's called.
Yep.
And then they've got their tag titles and their trios titles, and they've got 2 women's titles, and it's
It just
like,
it doesn't become an accomplishment when there's so many that's
Yeah.
added that to the point where everyone just gets to.
and now they've merged with Ring of Honor, kind of.
So there's
they've
more
got,
belts.
there's more belts, and
Yeah, but
it's,
the Ring of Honor belts are different because it's like,
Yeah.
but
but it's like, they're defended on the AEW shows sometimes, and the storylines carry over to AEW, and it's a whole thing.
yeah.
I don't know.
What's your thoughts, Mitch?
well, there was a promotion I saw. They're Sydney based, and they're like, we're going to introduce a new championship. What should we name it? And a lot of people were like, oh, don't name it after a planet. So that kind of gives it away. But Fox, it's all right. It's fine.
Why don't you make like the why do you make the Padso championship? They can be the champion of Padso.
I don't know.
Well-
I saw someone on the NGL ask if there's going to be a King of the Padsto RSL tournament. But if there is, I think there should also be a queen of the Padstow RSL tournament.
Yes. Oh my god. And
Anyway.
have like a little belt. Oh, not a belt, like a little trophy.
Yeah, like the
Trophy.
Owen Hart
Yeah.
cup. Yeah.
But anyway, the promotion in question had like 5 belts, and they're introducing a 6th one. So you would think, like on a standard show with 7 matches, if there's 6 belts, you'd have 6 championship matches and 1, non-title match. So it's kind of like Night of Champions every month. So we'll all start getting another belt. Probably not.
I think we need it.
No, I think the 4 championships we have right now are enough for everyone.
Let's see. Mr. Hardy Production says cruiserweight title.
No, I just said no.
Yeah. David Bullock says just add the king and queen of Padstow to fight each year. Yeah, maybe like a tournament show, kind of like how WWE did the King of the Ring show.
Yeah, but then again,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be fair because let's be real, the king and queen of Padstow is me and Keegan.
Correct.
I mean, I know you like to say the king, Mitch, but realistically, like.
Do I like to say I'm the king?
Well, I heard you say last
No,
time.
I'm the special man.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's the special man.
Well, yeah, but
Emphasis
Keegan
on
and I, like,
special.
come on, it wouldn't be fair because let's be real. Like,
But you guys don't actually live in Padstow.
yeah, but come on.
Yeah, but
Padstow-
like
Keegan is a member of Padstow RSL.
you're not
Sure.
even a member of Padstow
So
RSL.
technically, he
point.
can say he's the king of Padstow,
Yeah.
and I'm his plus one on that
Yep.
membership. So
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
there you go.
I've been outdone here
I
tonight.
would like to, no, like,
Sorry, Mitch.
like realistically, it's cool. We've got the survival of the fittest rumble. I don't know if that's going to be a continuous thing or not.
I like it though. I think we should do more rumbles.
Yeah.
You know, and then
maybe do a women's rumble just for fun of it.
That would be cool.
that would be
Yeah.
Just like one, like very crazy amount. But
Do one a year, why not?
So we've got the survival of the fittest rumble. It'd be cool if we had like a King of the Ring or a King of the Padstow RSL kind of tournament. And, as long as we don't have another 3 levels of hate match, I'll be happy.
Why does that always come up?
Because
the
it's just
the
it's
3 levels
so
of hate.
funny. It's
Why
like-
is that funny?
So yeah, I don't know. Like early All Star, it was
Jazz knows she was on that show.
Yeah, the
I
three
was.
the 3 levels of hate match. Like what?
Yep.
Who did you come up with that yourself?
I don't recall.
Was it a special man Jay's idea?
When was it?
The Knights are number 1 in Wollongong.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes,
It was Blake Stone versus Kingston.
yes. That's right.
We
Sorry,
didn't
I
want to
forgot
call
about
we didn't want to call it a 3 stages of hell because we were trying to attract families at the time. So we went 3 levels of hate.
I don't know. It's just.
Oh, that will really attract a nice family.
Because
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, I thought so.
I
Yeah.
watched 3 levels of hate.
Like I just remember, like I think we were all on a big group call one night, and I was going through like the early All Star days on Cage Match.
Box is a huge mark for All-Star history.
Hey, you gotta know the history.
Well, hey,
Yeah,
no,
I
you know what?
respect
I
it.
do get very proud though of how far All Star has come. Like
Mhm.
from the first show that we did. I mean, obviously there was more shows before then, but seeing
Yeah.
how far we've come now, it's awesome. Like, we have such a cool roster, and
So many cool
especially when you look at
moments.
the old Cage Match stuff, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, no,
All these
literally.
people on the show,
Yeah,
you know?
like Wes Williams and Fergus Ferguson.
Delicious.
Yeah. Well, we've got 2.5 minutes left, so let's get to the plugging. A very huge thank you, as always, to Bulldog Glass Profit Maintenance, Amy's Crystal Cleaning Services, and Raptastic Graphics. All their information is on our social media in a pinned post. Also, next Saturday night, the North Hamilton Bowling Club. Not as iconic.
Oh, no, Hamilton North. Hamilton North.
Not
Yeah.
that same thing. Yeah, not the iconic Padstow RSL. We will be in the Steel City region for Steel City Madness.
Mm.
You will see Jasmin Brettle and Keegan
Yes.
against Billy Mack and Jesse Daniels.
It's an intergender grudge match,
It
Box.
is. There is also an all-star heavyweight title match between Wes Williams and the number 1 contender Otis.
Mm.
Aries will be his match been announced.
It is, yeah.
Aries will be defending the Eastern States title against Morgan Rose.
Nice.
What else? And J-Law versus B-Boy.
And you forgot the biggest part. Former WWE United States champion Orlando Jordan. He'll be in action
He will be against
Hell Yeah.
Hell
With
Yeah.
the puppeteer in the
With
corner.
puppeteer in the corner.
Puppeteer's not here anymore.
And
It's
then
gonna be a good one.
if you think that you're going to miss out on your wrestling fix, don't worry, because August 19th, we are back.
1 week later.
1 week later at the iconic Padstow RSL. Wes Williams versus Mike Babel. Should Wes Williams retain against Otis?
Yeah, and if Wes doesn't, it'll be Otis versus Mike Valuable.
Yeah. And he may have to pull double duty and defend the tag
That's
titles
right. The
as well.
tag titles will be on the line as well.
We will also see Jasmin Brettle
Yes,
with
that's
Keegan
right,
in her
guys.
corner against Billy Mack, the All-Star Women's title, with Jesse Daniels in her corner.
And I think that has to be one of the most highly anticipated matches on the card.
Yeah.
You know, it's the Brettles seeking revenge against J Law and Billy Mack in their respective matches. And will Jazz finally do it? You said before that you will, so
Yes,
fingers
I'm
crossed.
so keen. I'm really, really keen.
And if she does, it's not a moment you want to miss.
That's
In the
right.
link in our Instagram bio, we have tickets for both shows, I think. So
www.allstarwrestlingaustralia.com.au.
there you go. Huge thank you to Jasmin Brettle.
Thank you,
jumping on the
guys.
show. There it is.
Big
Oh,
Gigsy
no.
B in the house.
We're just about to
Troubles,
say
yeah.
goodbye.
See you later, guys. Goodbye.
And we will
Look,
see-
this was the featuring Keegan Brettle part.
Yeah, this was We'll chuck in Keegan.
The, box
Why don't
before-
you come get your face on the camera at least for a second?
Before we say
I wanna see your
farewell,
beautiful face.
we'll let.
Come in the podcast, brother.
What's going on, guys?
There
he
he
is.
is. What a guy. Were you napping in the car or were you
I'm watching
listening?
the footy.
You just
Ah.
me talking all these nice things about you, love.
Let's go. I'm sure you-
She put you over.
It's right.
She also said-
footy comes first, apparently.
Yeah, you're also a player.
It's still going. I gotta go.
Okay.
All right. Can we plug one last thing?
What are we plugging?
The Coil Eade fundraiser. You know, if you got
yes.
anything to
Yes,
give,
Definitely.
Google that. We don't have the link, but
I'll-
you'll post the link.
Yeah, so I'll get the link up and I'll chuck it in the description of this video and I'll chuck it in our bio.
But
as well.
the donations are for the funeral, so it'd be good to give him a good farewell, and
100%.
you know it'd be great for them. So dig deep and give what you can.
Well, guys, actually, adding to that, I think I want to do something very nice, adding to the Kyle Eade Fund. I'm going to say Padstow because it's going to take me too long to do it. Okay. But Padstow, I will be selling special cookies. I
Cookies?
actually make cookies, guys.
That's right.
I have heard this,
decorated
yeah.
Do we
with
want to plug your Instagram page? as
No,
well?
no, it's not good for business.
Ah,
But
okay.
long story short, I'll be selling cookies, and any of the funds for that will go towards the Kyle Eade GoFundMe.
Well, there you go. Get some cookies at Padstow RSL on August 19th.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we will see you next week. We're at Newcastle on the Saturday, so it will be next Sunday, I'm assuming. I don't know, we haven't prepared.
Well, I'll be asleep next Sunday.
Who knows? There might not be a podcast next week. People are creature
We'll keep you updated.
We'll keep you updated on the social media. Stay tuned. See you guys for episode 9. Thank you, Jazz.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Jasmine.